A mother octopus is watching herself die, and she knows it. The moment she lays her eggs, something inside her brain flips a switch. She stops eating, she stops hunting, she stops caring about her own survival. For the next few weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years, she will sit alone in the dark, guarding thousands of tiny eggs, until her body literally falls apart. And here's the part that will mess you up. She's not sick. She's not injured. Her body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. She is programmed to die. This is the strangest, saddest love story in the entire animal kingdom. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at an octopus the same way again. So let's talk about what really happens. When a female octopus is ready to reproduce, she finds a quiet little den, usually a crack in a rock, an old shell, or a hidden cave on the ocean floor. She lays her eggs, sometimes up to 200,000 of them, and attaches them to the ceiling of her den in delicate little strands that look like tiny pearls hanging from the rocks. And from that moment, her life is over. She will never leave that den again. She will never hunt again. She will never eat another meal. She will spend every single second of the rest of her life fanning fresh water over those eggs, cleaning them with her arms, and protecting them from predators. Crabs come crawling in. Fish try to slip past her. Even other octopuses come hunting, and she fights them all off, even when she's so weak she can barely lift her arms. But here's where it gets really dark. Scientists discovered that octopuses have a tiny gland behind their eyes called the optic gland. Think of it like a little time bomb buried in her brain. The moment she lays her eggs, this gland releases a flood of chemicals, hormones, steroids, fatty acids, and these chemicals do something terrifying. They tell her body to shut down. Her digestive system stops working, so even if she wanted to eat, she couldn't. Her skin starts to deteriorate, her color fades, she becomes pale, almost ghost-like, like a shadow of the creature she used to be. Her arms get tangled, her eyes go cloudy. Some octopuses have even been seen tearing off pieces of their own skin, banging into rocks, or eating the tips of their own arms in the final days. She's not in her right mind anymore. The chemicals are eating her alive from the inside. It's a process scientists call programmed death. And the octopus is one of the only animals on Earth that goes through it like this. And she does all of this without ever meeting her babies, because the moment those eggs hatch, she's already gone. The thousands of tiny octopuses drift out into the ocean, completely alone, and she dies right there in the den. She gives everything for children she will never see, never touch, and never know by name. But the most heartbreaking story of all happened in 2007. Off the coast of California, deep in the freezing dark, about 4,500 feet below the surface, where sunlight has never even reached, scientists were exploring with a remote submarine when they spotted something incredible. A pale purple octopus clinging to a rocky cliff, guarding a small cluster of eggs. They named her Octomom. And then they came back, and they came back again. Month after month, year after year, they kept returning to that exact same spot on that exact same cliff. And every single time she was still there, still guarding, still fanning her eggs with her tired arms, slowly wasting away in the cold black water, refusing to abandon her post. Do you know how long she stayed there? 4.5 years. 53 months without eating. 53 months without leaving. 53 months of just sitting in the dark watching over her babies, getting weaker and thinner and paler every single day. It is the longest brooding period of any animal ever recorded on planet Earth. Longer than elephants, longer than whales, longer than humans. A creature with a normal lifespan of just a few years gave up almost half of her entire existence for children she would never meet. The scientists who watched her said it was one of the most emotional things they had ever witnessed in their careers. They saw her body slowly break down on camera, year after year, and there was nothing they could do. They couldn't help her, they couldn't feed her, she wouldn't have eaten anyway. When they finally returned for the last time and saw the eggs had hatched, she was gone. Her body had simply dissolved into the ocean floor. Her job was done. Her purpose was complete. And here's what blows my mind. Scientists actually figured out a way to stop this from happening. In a lab experiment, they carefully removed the optic gland from a mother octopus, and she didn't die. She started eating again. She left her eggs behind. She lived a normal life like nothing had happened. But in the wild, this never happens. Not once, every single mother octopus in every single ocean on every coast around the world chooses death the moment she becomes a mother. It's not a bug in the system, it's the entire point of the system. Why? Scientists believe it's evolution's most extreme strategy. By dying, the mother makes sure no predator follows her back to the eggs. Her decaying body might even feed the surrounding ecosystem, giving her babies a slightly better chance to survive in their first vulnerable hours. She becomes the ultimate sacrifice. Her death is her final gift to her children. But here's what really gets me. Octopuses are some of the smartest animals on Earth. They can solve complex puzzles, they can recognize individual human faces, they can use tools, they can open jars, they can escape from sealed tanks. They've even been seen carrying coconut shells to use as armor. Some scientists believe they can dream. Their intelligence is so alien, so advanced, that some researchers say studying an octopus is the closest thing we have to studying life from another planet. Which means somewhere in that brilliant, complex, beautiful mind, she probably understands what's happening to her. She probably feels her body fading. She probably feels the hunger. She probably feels the pain. But she doesn't run, she doesn't try to escape, she doesn't fight against it. She does it anyway. Every single one of them. Every single time, in every ocean on Earth. For millions of years. And nobody knows for sure if she feels love the way we do. We can't read her thoughts, we can't ask her what she's feeling. But when you watch the footage of these mothers, when you see them gently fanning their eggs with arms that can barely move anymore, it's hard not to believe she feels something. Something powerful enough to override every instinct for survival she has ever had. So the next time you see an octopus in a documentary or an aquarium, just remember, somewhere out there in the deep dark ocean, a mother is sitting alone in a cave right now, slowly starving herself to death so her babies can live, and she will never ever meet them. She will never know if they survived. She will never know if her sacrifice was worth it. That's not just biology, that's not just instinct. That's love at its most extreme. That's the kind of love that doesn't ask for anything in return. If this story moved you the way it moved me, hit that subscribe button and join the Untold Earth family. We share the wildest, most untold stories from the natural world every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. And I want to know, would you sacrifice everything for someone you'd never even meet? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one.